Have you ever had a conversation that changed your life? Maybe it was a mentor, a friend, or even a stranger who spoke the exact words you needed to hear in that moment. Now imagine this: what if you could have that kind of life-changing conversation every single day with Jesus himself? That's exactly what prayer is. It's not a ritual. It's not a religious box to check off. It's literally talking to the King of Kings, the creator of the universe, and the one who calls you his child. And here's the middle-bowing part: he listens. Not just hears, but actually listens. Have you ever been in a conversation where the other person was nodding, but you knew they weren't really paying attention? Yeah, God is the opposite of that. He's locked in, fully tuned, listening as if you were the only person in the world. That's the beauty of talking to Jesus. So today, let's talk about, well, talking to him. We're going to dive into why prayer matters, how Jesus himself modeled prayer, and what it means for your life right now. And I promise, this isn't going to be some boring theological lecture. We're going to keep it real, relatable, and maybe even laugh a little on the way, because believe it or not, God actually wants joy in your conversations with him. Now, let's start with this: prayer is simple. We make it complicated. People often think they need fancy words, King James style language, or long-winded speeches to get God's attention. But Jesus flips that idea upside down. In Matthew 6, he literally tells us, "When you pray, don't babble on like the pagans do, for they think they'll be heard because of their many words." In other words, God doesn't need your vocabulary to be impressive. He just wants your heart to be honest. Think about it like this: imagine if your kid came to you and said, "Dearest parental unit, thou art gracious and bountiful in thy provision of Pop-Tarts this morning." You'd probably laugh and say, "Hey buddy, just tell me what's on your mind." That's exactly how God feels when we overcomplicate prayer. Here's the cool part: Jesus gave us a blueprint. The Lord's Prayer. Most of us know it: Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. But here's the danger: sometimes we repeat it so often that we forget what it actually means. It's not just a script to memorize. It's a guide to how we can talk to God. Let's break it down. It starts with our Father. That's huge. Jesus could have said our Master, our Judge, our Ruler. All of those would have been true. But instead, he chooses Father. Why? Because prayer is about relationship, not transaction. God isn't a vending machine where you put in prayers and expect blessings to pop out. He's your loving Father who delights in being close to you. Then, hallowed be your name. This is about respect. It's like starting a conversation by saying, "Dad, I love you, I honor you. I respect who you are," because yes, he's Father, but he's also holy. We don't approach him casually like he's our buddy at the coffee shop. There's reverence mixed with intimacy. Next, your kingdom come, your will be done. Notice it's not my will be done. Ouch. That one stings a little, doesn't it? Most of our prayers, if we want to sound like a shopping list: Lord, give me this, fix that, bless me here. And God does care about our needs. But Jesus reminds us that prayer is about aligning our hearts with his plan, not bending him to ours. Then, give us this day our daily bread. That's so practical. It's like saying, "God, I trust you with my everyday needs. My food, my job, my rent, my health, you've got it covered." Notice it doesn't say, "Give us this day our yearly bread." God wants you to depend on him daily, not hoard enough faith for the next 12 months. Next comes forgiveness. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Oof. That one's tough. We love receiving forgiveness, but giving it, not so much. Yet Jesus ties the two together. If you're talking to him but holding a grudge against someone else, he's going to nudge you about it. And finally, let us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Prayer is protection. It's not just about asking for blessings. It's asking for strength to resist the traps of the enemy and walk in God's ways. That's the model Jesus gives us. Short, simple, but powerful. Now, let me get real with you for a second. Sometimes prayer feels awkward. Can we just admit that? You start talking to God and 5 seconds later, you're thinking about what to eat for dinner. Or you try to pray before bed and wake up an hour later drooling on your pillow. Been there, done that. But here's the thing, prayer is less about performance and more about practice. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Just like learning an instrument, you don't become a guitar pro the first time you strum a chord. You practice. Same with prayer. Don't beat yourself up when it feels clumsy, just keep showing up. And here's where it gets personal. Talking to Jesus doesn't have to be limited to a set time of day. It's not like you clock in for your morning prayer shift, then punch out until tomorrow. Prayer can be ongoing. You can talk to Him while driving, while cooking, while walking the dog. He's not confined to a church building, He's with you wherever you go. Let me give you an example. Imagine you only spoke to your best friend once a week, and only using memorized lines. That friendship wouldn't go very deep, right? Same with God. If the only time you pray is on Sunday with prayer and words, you're missing the beauty of the relationship. Jesus invites us to talk to Him daily, casually, sincerely. And here's the best part, God actually responds. Not always with a booming voice from the sky, but through His Word, through peace in your heart, through circumstances, or even through other people. Prayer isn't a monologue, it's a dialogue. We talk, but we also listen. Sometimes the most powerful part of prayer is the silence afterward, when we just let Him speak. So here's my challenge for you. This week, set aside a few minutes each day to simply talk to Jesus. Not a performance, not a script, just talk. Tell Him what's stressing you out. Tell Him what you're grateful for. Ask Him to guide your steps. And then pause, breathe, and listen. You'll be amazed at how it changes your perspective. Because when you talk to Jesus, you realize you're not alone. You're not carrying your burdens by yourself. You have a Father in heaven who loves you, listens to you, and walks with you through every part of life. Now, let's land this plane. Prayer is not a ritual. It's a relationship. It's not about eloquent words, it's about an open heart. Jesus gave us the perfect example in the Lord's Prayer, but He also gave us the freedom to talk to Him anytime, anywhere. So don't wait. Start today. Talk to Jesus like you would to your closest friend, but with the respect and love you give a perfect Father. And watch how your life transforms when prayer becomes more than a habit, it becomes a heartbeat. If this message encouraged you, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future videos that will help you grow in your faith. And stick around because in the video popping up on your screen right now, we're going to dive into how to pray with boldness and confidence. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.